Greetings. What is natural? As we go shopping today, we're assaulted with the word natural, all natural, natural ingredients, blah, 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 blah. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because in the food industry, natural means one thing. In the garden industry, it means another. And most people don't know that there's a legal difference in that word. And so I thought maybe today we would take the time to clarify. And so as you go shopping in the supermarket, you're going to find all kinds of things that are labeled all natural, Cheerios, all natural, hot dogs. Yeah, hot dogs. I mean, cow bags, lips and bungholes, combined with chemicals that could keep a corpse preserved for at least a month, It's considered natural because in the supermarket, pretty much anything that was derived from some form of life along the line would be considered natural. And so a hot dog is natural, bologna's natural. Bacon can be all natural. I mean, it comes from a pig, right? A lot of processing going on there, but it is a natural product. Now, in the supermarket or in our food, natural is almost a meaningless word. There was a campaign that tried to get some legislation passed on the federal level to try to actually, determine what does natural really mean. I don't think that happened. I'm not seeing any changes in the labeling. So in the supermarket, natural is a term that means almost nothing to us. It's just one of those buzzwords that looks good on a package. The word organic, though, when you're purchasing food, now that's a big difference right there. That's a legal definition. It has parameters that you can only use certain things on that food and in that food if it's to be organic. And so in the supermarket, organic is a big legal word, and it can mean a lot, okay? Doesn't always, but it can mean an awful lot when something's labeled organic. Natural, like I said, a hot dog, is natural. As soon as you enter the nursery, though, and you begin shopping, the terms natural and organic, when it comes to soils and fertilizers and other sorts of amendments, they're reversed. In the nursery, when you see a bag of potting soil, for instance, a lot of bags of potting soil say organic potting soil. Well, it's as meaningless on that potting soil bag as the word natural is on a hot dog in the supermarket. Organic means nothing other than it originally came from something that was alive or came out of nature somehow that ended up in that bag. And that's all it means. And so it's essentially the exact same term in the nursery as natural is in the supermarket. The word natural in the nursery is a legal description. And so if you pick up a bag of potting soil and it says all natural ingredients, that's basically the same thing as it being organic. You have to have all natural ingredients in a soil bag or in a fertilizer in order to get an OMRI certification, Organic Materials Registration Institute. An OMRI on a bag or on a box of fertilizer usually indicates that you're buying something that is, a very natural, or we will grow organic food with this. And so when you pick up the bag or the box of fertilizer and it says all natural, that's serious stuff, and that's a good product that's very clean and followed specific laws. When it says organic, it don't mean anything, okay? I won't go about mentioning some of the major brand names that utilize that word, trying to draw people in, because people become confused and feel that organic in the supermarket and organic in the nursery are the same. They're not. The only place in the nursery where the word organic is a legal definition is if you're, well, say, buying a bedding plant. Maybe you get tomato plants, for instance. And if the tomato plants were organically grown, then that's the same labeling as the vegetable you bought in the supermarket that's organically grown. Okay. And if it's a plant and it says it's all natural, it doesn't mean anything. Okay? And so these laws, the rules are very contradictory. They're extremely confusing. I honestly think they were probably made to be that way. But whatever, that's just the way it came out. So what you know in the supermarket is 100% or 180 degrees reversed in the nursery. And so natural is the big word you're looking for when you're picking up soils, amendments, fertilizers, and so on to use in your organic garden at home. Right there, that is the information I intended to impart today to the gardener. And as for the rest of you who don't like to listen to Bill just ramble on and start blogging on things, it's time to sign out. Aloha, bon voyage. Have a nice day. Because otherwise, I want to talk about natural in another sense. Often I hear people refer to the works of nature, and I mean that is where we get the word natural, generally speaking. If it came from nature, we call it a natural product, and that's, quite logical. And most of us, desire to have natural products as opposed to artificial products, things that are made by technology. But I got some problems with all that, honestly. It just doesn't make any sense to me, because we draw these lines between things. We say this is natural, this is unnatural, and so on. And I don't get it, okay? Because humans, us, we are part of nature. A human being is a natural thing. Now, so is a bird, so is an ant, so is a beaver. All natural things. We're all creatures, we're all basically animals to some extent. But if a bird builds a nest in a tree, we call that a natural thing. It's a bird nest. When ants build a mound and clear roads around the mound, it's an ant city, but we refer to it as a natural thing. It's an ant hill. With beavers cut down trees in the forest, they stack them up in the stream, they pack mud on them, and they dam up whole canyons, flood valleys, and so on, change the environment dramatically. The beaver dam is a natural thing. But on the other hand, when it's human beings, when we look at almost anything that a human being can create, we don't refer to it as natural. Now, I don't get that, because if I'm a creature and I'm part of nature, the house I build essentially is as natural as the nest that the bird makes. When we put a dam on a stream for whatever reason and flood a whole valley, well, a lot of people get excited about it. Wow, it's an environmental disaster. You flooded all these trees and so on. And that's true. But, the beavers do the same darn thing. Now, that's a natural thing. But when we put up a dam, it's artificial. It's technology. I am suggesting that a computer is a natural product. The reason it's a natural product is because there is no such thing as unnatural. Everything that we have comes from nature. We come from nature. All the materials that we use to make any product come from nature. We're just simply more evolved in our tool building and tool using capacity than most other creatures on Earth, and so a lot of our stuff doesn't look very natural or organic. A lot of our stuff is shiny, painted, and so on. But, people will make the distinctions, go, well, human beings, they destroy the environment. Well, we destroy the environment, I think, mostly because we have free will and stupidity. We're full of that. But we're also, there's too many of us. And if there were less humans on Earth, within the limits, like most animals, there wouldn't be so much trouble with what we do to the environment. And, of course, we create toxic chemicals, for instance, with our technology, and they get into the environment, they poison all kinds of things. Well, nature's no stranger to making poisons, man. You know, curari's a poison from frogs in the Amazon. It's deadly. Snakes produce poisons and so on. There are situations, well, like with the beavers, for instance, where beavers will wipe out a whole valley. They'll flood the darn thing. It tends to benefit animals in a different way. So it's not terribly destructive, and when a beaver dam goes out, usually things just kind of spring back. But I am going to step forward and suggest there is no such thing as an unnatural product. These are distinctions that we make in our mind. They really don't have a whole lot to do with the actual reality of it. That's all there is to that. I have nothing else to say. Ponder it, think about it. Tell Bill he's full of, I don't care. But I see these distinctions and lines that are drawn all the time between things. We're always putting things in boxes, and I don't really see it that way. Well, aloha. Have a wonderful day. It's a beautiful day here, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of it. Pauhana, I'm going to go look for a beer. Enjoy.